Yo, Dan. A source close to me has told me that we are under 50 days till NRL.
Yes!
You okay? Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. Dan, the countdown's on.
Oh, it's on. Under 50 days,
Under
Terry.
50 days.
I'm getting excited.
I knew that would bring joy to you.
Oh, big time.
But there is some joy being taken away from one club at the moment as Shaun Johnson left the training session in a moon boot.
You're not good.
No. An ankle injury, 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
There's no such thing.
Rule him out for round one.
Yeah, it's a good injury, Terry.
No.
But in terms of the timing, this is probably the time where it's okay because you should be up and running by probably the second week of pre-season, at worst round one. But look, I'm with you. They should play it safe.
Yeah, I think that definitely rules Johnson out of the first trial for New Zealand.
Very, very highly likely.
And then maybe, depending on how he goes, might see him second trial for a couple of minutes. But we don't even know the extent of it yet. There's been no further information from the Warriors about the injury to Johnson. However, from someone who has suffered ankle injuries, when you get them in your 20s, you kind of just run them off. When you get them in your 30s...
Becomes a little bit more difficult. Got me thinking, actually, is there any more important player in the competition to their hopes of their club than Shaun Johnson? Because,
Nicholas Hines.
Well, other than Nico Hines, obviously. But I was just thinking, if Johnson, because worst case scenario, and of course we don't wish this upon anyone, he misses 3 or 4 weeks, you probably look and go, okay, that Cronulla game suddenly becomes winnable for Cronulla. And I don't even know who they're playing round 2, but they'll probably be in Australia. Without Johnson, they might lose that. So, for their sake, I hope he's all right. And also, I love Shaun Johnson, so of course we wish him the best.
For Shaun's sake, I hope that he can play round one just terribly.
Yeah, that'd be right. It's a win-win for everyone.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Now, Shane Flanagan,
your mate,
has been back in the NRL for a heartbeat.
Cup of tea.
You see him every day talking in the media, transfers, training, lineups, positions. Like, we know he's round one team.
Yeah, because he's only got 17 players.
And none of them
I would argue 10 of them are any good. He's come out this week and he said, my son, my pride and joy is going to be the halves combination with Ben Hunt. We all thought, yeah, okay, he's the only one there.
Yeah.
They signed Marshke last week. He's going to come finish the last cup. Maybe in round 3 or 4 they might shift him. Who knows? Then he's come out yesterday or a couple of days ago now and said, you're going to see a different Dragons next year. Can they be worse than last year?
Like,
how? Why? Just
because he's played out all his recruitment in the media. He's playing his squad lineups. He's setting expectations. Like, as you said, if he turns around and goes, you're going to see different Dragons next year and they're 0-5 to start the season, well...
Same old Dragons.
Yeah.
If I'm a Dragons fan, and God, thank you,
God
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear my coach every day in the media. I want him yelling at the players and telling them to get better. I want to hear behind closed doors that this is happening and, okay, if rumours get out and we're talking to, Joey Manu, etc. But I don't want him out there going... We are not in a position to, sign anyone worth a damn. But Adam Fanua-Blake, you've got to tomorrow to decide. So he said, all right, I'm going to Cronulla. He's just got to realise he's not at the Sharks anymore. And, little brother comes with little brother things.
And he did call them little brother in the...
He's admitted it. We can say it now unashamedly. More so than usual. I just think he needs to relax, Terry, and just let it play out.
I don't remember him being this vocal in the media at Cronulla.
That's a good shout. Mate, grand final week, you couldn't get 2 words out of him.
No.
Yeah, as you shouldn't, but going into a pre-season, what? Okay, they're going to come last. Let's be honest. Let's just call a spade a spade.
The bottom 3, yeah.
What can he say to get Dragons fans? I understand why he's doing it. He's trying to get Dragons fans to buy in, but more so, I think he's trying to get his players to buy in. So don't hate it. But on the outside, I'm like, just shut up and train the boys.
Yeah. He can, obviously the press are now going to him for a comment because he's happy to give a comment to everyone.
Giving them.
But, he's played out Adam Fanua-Blake, Joey Manu, Tom Dearden, every Tom, Dick and Harry that he can get. They're now linked to 2 Cowboys back rowers who probably don't even know about it. And again, he's come out and said, I really, really want Joey Manu. And you know what, Joey Manu? He's going to see that, get his phone, Shane Flanagan, block.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I suppose he's
look, you're right.
Desperation.
He can't come out and turn around and go, you know what, Blake Laurie's good, but his front row partner's crap. I haven't got a dummy half. My wingers suck.
My son's no good.
Yeah, Ben.
And
Hunt,
I like Kyle.
Ben Hunt doesn't want to be here. Jesse Marsh was a stopgap signing because the other fella doesn't have a shoulder anymore. Like, he can't say these things, but you know what he can say? No comment.
Yeah.
Don't answer your phone.
That'd be nice.
Don't give them a. Yeah, I don't know. I just.
Either does he.
What do you do? Now, the NRL wouldn't be the NRL without a ridiculous off-season rule change.
Mm-hmm. And now, are you saying people weren't clamouring for this?
I have not seen anyone turn around and go, you know what? If the ball goes out on the full from a dropout, it shouldn't be a penalty.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone say that ever. Just to clarify.
It should be a penalty.
Of course it should be. The thinking behind it, Terry, to play devil's advocate, is that you got to encourage attacking play. And if you take the penalty out of it, then teams will try it more. Pretty much every dropout last year was a short dropout. You're pretty much saying now, no more long dropouts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of a reason unless maybe you're up by 2, boot the ball as far as you can.
But here's the other thing. If you're up by 2 points with 7 seconds to go and the clock doesn't stop for a dropout, or you're, there's 40 seconds, as if they're not just going to go and belt the ball into row Z.
That is the exact problem that was highlighted straight away. Someone's going to, whoops, I accidentally kicked it into row, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, and they'll change it back, or they'll change it again. It just is one of those things that was unneeded, a change for the sake of it. Not saying I hate it, but it doesn't need to be.
The best one is because people were saying, after the 2015 grand final when the Cowboys won the Golden Point against the Broncos, they changed the rule that in finals that it would be 10 minutes and then Golden Point. And then after the 23 grand final when there was a short dropout and Penrith kicked the 2 points and eventually won by 2 points, they changed the rule. And I saw a Brisbane fan turn around and said they could have changed the rule that if you knock on off a kickoff that you just get the ball back, or you just restart with a kickoff again.
The Bronco rule changes.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted as to why this happened.
Yeah, and that's...
But I also want to play devil's advocate again. I'm willing to bet, Terry, that in 10 rounds' time, no one will care.
Oh, there's another thing for this as well that I read, that off a dropout, the collision. But now you're taking the collision out of the game.
Yes.
You can get a concussion from anything.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
We've seen players fall over at training. And
you swing a player around and he loses his balance and he hits his head on the ground. What are you going to do? You can't swing a player to the ground now?
Well, don't give him ideas.
But what happened? My question to you, Dan, is: Cronulla do a short dropout, a short kickoff, and the ball goes out on the full. Is it a play the ball on the 50 or is it a play the ball on the 40?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they know.
I guess it'll depend on the day.
And finally, we're talking about rule changes and loopholes and everything else. Tavita Pangai Junior has come up with the greatest loophole of all time by announcing his retirement from the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Going to boxing.
Turning up to the Broncos training, and now the Broncos are trying to get him on a contract. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are that if this indeed comes to be and he signs for the Broncos, then the NRL need to put a stop to this. Right now, you retire, you are done. At least 3 years. Because it just shows how far Pangai Junior's gone to get away from the Bulldogs, rather than go through the right process and get a release and force his way and Broncos sign him on a contract. Because remember, he's on about 800 or something. Or if you ask Bulldogs, $2 million suddenly in the cap, Roosters style, he's got to sign for something similar up there. Because if he leaves there and goes and signs for 200 at Brisbane, they don't allow that. Mm-hmm. He's retired now. He's got no contract. He can sign whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a ridiculous loophole. And if this is found to be what it is, they should say, you can't play this year, mate. You're done.
I agree that I think this should be the Gordon Tallis scenario all over again. He didn't want to play for St George anymore. He flat out refused to play, and the competition turned around and said, cool, you got to sit out for a year. And Tallis said, no worries. Just went and trained. So I'm talking, can't play Q Cup.
No, he can't play football. He's retired.
Yeah. So I don't agree. Maybe the 3 years, or someone said the length of contract. No, if you're going to do this, it's hard. It's a hard one because
Payne Haas has come out now and said he can't wait to play with his mate again. This looks like it's been set up from the get-go. And if you notice that he was going to go boxing and he never announced the fight, usually you use that hype and, retired NRL star. He's going to go fight over here. Or if he had a fight, I didn't hear about it, which is saying something because I'm pretty into my boxing. For him not to come out straight away and say, I got a fight on this day, it's at so-and-so pub, there's a tin can, I'm going to knock him out and then I'm going to start getting into it and get better, etc., etc. Straight away you're thinking, looks like they had this plan from the start. And then Brisbane are like, hey, he's just here training. And then Payne Haas comes out and says, I can't wait to see him play with us. Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Dogs fans should be very angry, but also happy they got rid of him.
I think the Bulldogs are in a win-win situation here.
Easy for you to say.
They shedded his ridiculous contract and they've gone out and signed some players, right? And they also don't have a guy who doesn't want to play for them anymore. However, you have a look at the absolute dross that they have signed and how crap their forward pack is, and you probably think to yourself, do I want Drew Hutchison and Kurt Mann or do I want Davida Pangai Junior?
Played Origin.
Dan,
Talk to me, Terry.
we're down to the grade 8.
Yes,
The top 8.
It's getting serious now. The biz.
You and I have done some scissor paper rock over.
Some positions,
Yeah.
Your team dropping out of the 4. We got a little bit of grief last week.
Did we?
No, not really, but like one Newcastle fan said, I think you've done a little hard by us, which was nice.
Every other Newcastle fan agreed that their team's thing.
Good mate of the show, Sam. Great mate of the show, in fact.
Yeah.
Said, he disagrees with what we had to say about his team, but he understands why we said it, which is really nice of you to say, but...
Cool.
The Cowboys.
Let's get into 8th place, and you and I, this was the one that we debated. Who was 8, who was 7? In the end, we have gone with the Parramatta Eels, and let me tell you why. They're crap.
7th spot is now...
They haven't recruited anyone. So this is the part that I was struggling with dropping the Knights out last year from the top 8. Parramatta haven't gotten better.
No.
Now, Newcastle haven't really signed anyone either, but they're young, they're on the up. I'm very reserved about Parramatta. Now, a lot of their results last year come from without having Dylan Brown for being an idiot.
Yep.
So they get Dylan Brown back now with Moses and Gutherson. Their coach doesn't know who their number 9 is, and he says he doesn't want to play with 2 number 9s despite the fact that he's got 2 very average number 9s. He wants to play one of them for 80 minutes. His forward pack is getting on. The legs are running out.
They slowed last year.
Yeah, the legs are running out. Sean Lane's good, but injury prone.
Very.
Ryan Madison's good, but injury prone.
I like Bryce Cartwright.
I do like
He
Bryce
had a
Cartwright.
wonderful season last year.
Yeah,
but
let's see if we
he's
can back that
not
up.
known for his consistency.
I've got big issues with their back line.
Yes, that is the big problem. They got a good fullback. I'm a big fan of King Gutho.
I'm a big fan of Gutho. I like Sivo.
He's dangerous, but
And I think Penasini has potential.
yeah,
Anyone who's saying he's a superstar at the moment is way out of it.
Yep.
He's
he's good. He's good. He's
well
good.
down a pecking order in terms of an Origin appearance, but I don't feel there's enough. The more I think about it, the more I think we should have the Knights in over the Eels, but willing to take a turn on the Knights where we can. I don't see it from Parramatta.
I like their superstars have a high ceiling. That halves combination I'm a big fan of. Now, I know Dylan Brown last year, and I think he'll learn from that because he doesn't really have a choice. If he goes out and does something dumb again like that,
He's gone.
He's gone. Mitch Moses is at a point now where he needs to deliver a premiership. A couple of years ago, you and I both tipped him independently to win the Dally M. And the year after, we were like, well, he's probably not going to win it now, but he should be close. If he doesn't go close to winning a Dally M this year, they won't finish in the 8. That's how important he is. Gutho's coming off a very serious injury, no matter what they say. A player of his age to suffer a knee injury or whatever it was it was in the leg somewhere. It's never a good thing, but especially his age. Their forward pack is 2 injuries away from Utter disaster, to be honest. Now, I love Wirama Greg. If he turned around and signed for Cronulla tomorrow, I'm trying to do a backflip. Adjust that back line. When you're talking about potentially seeing Zach Sini in first grade, with the greatest respect, former Sharks legend, you're not in good stead.
Yeah.
They missed a trick. They should have signed someone.
Like Paulo and RCG are a great front row combination. They just don't have the depth. They don't have, you're relying on those guys to go and play big minutes and then have a quick breather and then come out and slog the same thing in there.
No, dude, we forgot Hopgood.
Yeah, look, not bad.
I thought he was very good last year.
I thought he was very good
A lot of people looked at his Supercoach stats and said he's a superstar. He's a superstar Supercoach player.
Yep.
But he's not a player who will turn games out of nowhere. Got a great offload.
Yeah, look, and I think the first 5 rounds, because he had featured in the NRL for Penrith over a couple of seasons, right, people knew that there was this player with a bit of potential, and then he actually got his crack, and he started, and he was running hard, and he scored a couple of tries, and he got some offloads. Then people went, hang on a minute, this is this guy's game. It's the hit, spin, offload, slow it down. Now, he had a good year. In fact, he might even say he had a great year.
Yeah.
But can he do it again? And is it enough? Yeah. My answer is no. I think it's a shootout between them and Newcastle. We've tipped Parramatta. We'll live with it.
Don't make us look bad, Para.
Now, making us look bad...
Every single week.
Every single week, every single year. Kissed on the proverbial backside again with a semi-decent draw, but we have picked the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks to finish 7th, and that shows a worrying trend for Cronulla to come in first year fits 2nd, then 6th, then 7th. I think we picked them around about 6th last year.
Yeah, I believe so. Now, my line of thinking, and we'll do a full breakdown later on, especially probably on Fins Up.
Yep.
I don't think we can get any better this year.
No.
And I'm willing, if you offered me now 7th or 8th and we got games under the belt of the aforementioned Nero, Dykes, Colquhoun, Stone Street, 3 of the 4, with Stone Street coming in the year after, 100% taking it. This year is a year, wouldn't say it's a gap year, but we've bought ourselves a year because we've got a superstar signing coming next year who is a big step towards fixing what we perceive to be wrong with the Sharks, is that their forward pack can't get on top when the going gets tough. Fanua Blake fixes that pretty much overnight. This is a year where we can start slow and Fitz can say, okay, well, you've ruled yourself out. You guys, young Colquhoun, Hazelton, one of you will be on the bench next to you when Fanua Blake comes in, straight shootout. Those two will gain huge from that. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Talakai, if he has a few good games at centre, because I believe he'll start there, they can say, okay, maybe you are a centre. If he doesn't, well, he's going to shift real quick. Nero's going to come in. So I'm very excited about the Sharks this year, but I'm not enthused. I don't think we'll make the 4. If we would have finished 4th, tremendous. If we miss the 8 with this squad and considering the teams around us, I'll be very upset.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if we don't make the 8. As you said, 1, the draw, the Canadians love us, and 2, that there is just some absolute crap teams in the NRL. That if
we beat the bad teams, and there's plenty of them.
If we were to drop out, that would be... Look, you can see this where we have the runs of 4 or 5 games against some hopeless teams that it could push us into a top 4 because we don't have to then go down to Melbourne or go to Penrith or, go up to Brisbane mid-season in that, So, look, it's going to be tough for Cronulla. I'm not setting the expectations of premiership or bust because, as you said, I do believe that Adam Fanua Blake in 2025 semi-opens a window, but it's not just him. We need a couple of other players as well. This squad needs some refreshment. The good part about it is it's quite a young squad. So you can get some enthusiasm. I'm talking about, if the season we know is going to be a write-off towards the end, I don't want to see Dale Finucane feature. I want to see Jesse Colquhoun. It's more valuable for us to get games into those guys.
Would you say 24 is about 25?
I would say 24 is about finding the right players to go into 25. Finding the prop partner for Adam Fanua Blake, finding the 2 props that need to be on the bench, finding the right position for Talakai, finding out if Kale Lero is going to be a first grader or not. Where does Cade Dykes play? This is all the important stuff there. And then passing the ball to Sione Katoa for him to score 25 tries so that way we can release him and get Samuel Stone Street in.
Exactly right. I love the way you're thinking.
We also need a hooker.
Fair enough. Now, I want to finish this on a positive note because we've done too much negative on the Sharks. I'm willing to give them a bit of a pass this year, unless they finish 10th, in which case, blow it all up and start again. 7th for me is pretty much spot on where I think we'll finish, as we did last year. Can't see a big improvement, but if we go, it's very, very important we don't go backwards because you can't go into a season where everyone's starting to think, oh, okay, maybe there's something brewing here, finishing 13th.
Yeah. Injuries aside, I still think we've got some good depth in the club, but it's now important. We've nailed on the Adam Fanua-Blake signing, and as we said, we believe that 2025 starts to shift that window open. There's still some good players off contract for 2025, and you need to be able to say to them, we're still playing finals, we're adding one of the best props in the game. Oh, sorry, Mr. Superstar player over here who wants an early release from their club, we've got a bit of money. Mm-hmm. This is what you need to be able to do. You can't do that from 14th and turn around and go, well, hey, you've got Adam Fanua-Blake, yeah, but you suck now.
Exactly.
And we saw that when we tried to get Benji Marshall in 2021, and we could, or 2020, 21, whatever it was, 2015, 14, I don't even know.
Long time ago.
Benji Marshall was somewhere.
But to end on a positive, we have Nico Hines.
Mm-hmm. In 6th, I fought you on this one as well, because I don't rate them real high. And again, I think that they're getting old and they're getting found out. But we're banking on South Sydney going from 9th to 6th.
I think they can do it. They signed a superstar in Jack Whiten.
They don't know where they're going to play him. Coach even a minute today, I do not know where I'm going to play Jack Whiten.
I don't think it matters. You get him out there, he's going to do a job. I think you're not going to see a season like last year from Latrell Mitchell, where at times we were here saying he's the best player in the game, and other times we're like, this guy, is he serious or not? Because I think Whiten coming in is going to get him on the straight and narrow, and I hope it happens. Except when they play Cronulla, of course. You can't see a season as bad from Cody Walker last year.
And he was still good.
He was, but there were games where you just play. He's even on the field.
He's old now, man. He's getting old.
Damien Cook.
Getting old.
They've got too many good players. Their forward pack. I love Totola. He's one of my favourite players in the game. I love Totola. Colin Matangi.
But they've lost last year Totola built a great foundation with Hamaselli. He's gone.
Yeah, true. There's so much to like about it. On their day, South can beat literally anyone other than probably Penrith. And even then, we've seen them push Penrith all the way multiple times in big games. There's too many what-ifs, though, to put them in the top 4. And people will come at us and say, yeah, but Latrell, blah, 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 blah. Okay,
you had Latrell last year, you had Cody Walker last year. Now they're older, and they're 9th.
They are.
I think putting them 6th was a little... I could have heard 8th and pushed everyone up. I could have heard 7th and pushed Cronulla up.
That's fair, but...
So I think 8, 7 and 6... Look, 9, 8, 7, 6 is going to be a showdown.
Yep, fair call. Campbell Graham, Jack Whiten, pretty handy centre partnership.
Isaiah Tass, got to be asked.
Or Tass on the wing, and Johnson's going to score another 30 tries. It's just, there's too much to like here to truly miss it. But I said this all last year. We had a minor premiers, or second at worst. And they came out and just took a whoopsie on us, Terry. Surely it doesn't happen again, but there's just too many stars. Mm-hmm. They can't be that bad again.
In 5th?
Controversy alert.
Yeah. The feel-good story of last year, we're going with the New Zealand Warriors.
Yep.
Again,
I think they're the Wars.
The Wars haven't recruited. Have they? Have they recruited anyone? I don't think so.
Not huge. Catewell.
Anyone. Oh, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Oh, he's a pretty good player.
They have recruited. He's a rugby player though.
I think it's going to take him about 2 minutes to get back into form.
Yeah, I think dropping them out is just solely on the basis of what another team has done in the off-season. Yeah. Look, again, 5th and 4th could be a shootout.
That's fine. Mate, I hope so.
Yeah. One thing that they were able to do last year and able to do very well was turn New Zealand into a fortress.
Yes, big time.
Yeah, so if they are able... Now, well, should they be able to do that again, that is 20 points.
Yep, big step.
Yeah, that's 20 points. That's, 10 wins minimum from them over there, and then if the West Tigers decide they're going to take another game over there, they get 13 games in New Zealand.
Huge. Yeah.
Absolutely huge for them. And I think one of the smart things that Andrew Webster, their coach, said last year was that when they had back-to-back weeks in Australia, they went home, but they didn't stay at home for too long. They actually came back to Australia and started training back in Australia.
He's a smart operator.
Very, very shrewd operator, whereas, in years past, you were hearing that they would play on a Sunday, they'd go home Monday morning, then they'd play on a Saturday, they'd fly back Friday.
Yep.
He was like, go home, see your parents and your kids for 2 days, or your wife and kids for 2 days, we're coming back.
Yeah, come back, very professional.
And I think that's because his family was over here.
Yeah, we got to go to Australia.
Shrewd operator.
I think Look, he's in his second year now as NRL coach because he's got plenty of experience across ponds. But this is where like Fitzgibbon got found out a little bit. Todd Payton got found out because a lot of teams are going to say, okay, we got to work on the Warriors now. Whereas last year, with the greatest respect, I don't think you did, and they pantsed us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of teams that are going to dedicate a lot of time. Of course, when you throw Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in there, you might be wasting your time. So that bloke can beat 13 players to score under the post from anywhere. I love the signing, but I also love the fact that he's come out and said, yeah, I'll play centre. That just shows he's bought in. So if he came in and said, I'm playing fullback, I'm going to big note, I'm going to take the superstar, nickel clock star, started everything last year, he was tremendous. He's coming in and saying, no, he can start there, I'll play in the centre. That to me says Tuivasa-Sheck wants to win big time.
You also have a look at the shape that Tuivasa-Sheck is in right now and you go, that is a centre.
Plus, he hasn't done any tackling for a couple of years, so the wear and tear is not on his body. Huge fan of this. I think if Metcalf can go to the level as we've said he can, they could be a problem.
Who do you start? Tamari Martin?
Metcalf.
Or Metcalf, yeah.
I'm big on Tamari Martin as a backup number 6. I think there's a few teams he could make, but not at the expense of Metcalf.
I think Tamari Martin had a good couple of weeks for the Warriors, but the best combination was SJ and Metcalf. Just fingers crossed that Metcalf can find some consistency, not only some consistency, some injury freedom.
Luck,
yeah.
They're going to be fun again.
They are going to be really, really fun. What would be fun from the Warriors as well is if they gave us Adam Fanua-Blake now. That would be real fun. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. Leave a 5-star review.
Comments.
Send your comments to Dan and I. Give us the feedback. What did we say about your team that you didn't like? If you're a Dragons fan, you're wrong. It doesn't matter.
Simply put.
Now
we last week we announced a stream. I won't go into it now. We'll do some more promotion as it goes on, but couple of names we've managed to lock in. Very good.
Some good names.
It's good fun.
Ex-players, current players, future stars.
Who will it be, Terry?
Coaches.
All will be revealed very soon.
Yep.
Speaking of soon, football!